So they're apparently looking to match Joseph Parker with Mariusz Wach. And this will be on the Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas undercard on February 29th in Texas. Now, Parker has been relatively inactive. He did have, I think it was one or two fights? Can't remember now, but they weren't against, good quality opposition. Wach will be a step up from those guys. I think he fought Leopai, didn't he, last year? Wach is definitely a step up from Leopai. Wach obviously gave Dillian Whyte a decent workout over 10 rounds. So it'll be interesting to see if Joseph Parker can do a better job. I suspect he probably can because of the fact that I have to imagine he's going to be in better shape than Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, obviously, he had problems outside the ring with UCAD and whatnot, wasn't in a great place mentally, and also took the fight on relatively short notice. Whereas Joseph Parker, I think this fight is also on pretty short notice, but he looks to be in better shape than Dillian Whyte was. And of course, he doesn't have all the outside the ring issues to deal with mentally. So again, I could be wrong. Maybe Joseph Parker turns up and he's not in the greatest shape or not particularly prepared for Mariusz Wach, and he has a tougher time than he should as well. But no, I'm going to assume he's in better condition than Whyte was and that he'll be able to soundly outbox Mariusz Wach. He'll probably be going for the stoppage. I know Joseph Parker isn't known at the top level as being a serious puncher, but he's not feather-fisted. He puts his punches together well. And Mariusz Wach, I think, can be overwhelmed. We saw that in the Martin Bakole fight. Bakole overwhelmed him. So let's see what Joseph Parker can do here if this fight takes place. Obviously, would like to see Joseph Parker in there against some legitimate top 10 heavyweights, but Rome wasn't built in a day. We'll see what can happen here from Joseph. Joseph Parker might actually have to take a risk at this point because Dillian Whyte is looking at Andy Ruiz and Povetkin, Deontay Wilder, possibly Anthony Joshua. AJ's tied up with mandatories, Kubrat Pulev, Alexander Usyk, and maybe looking at a undisputed fight. So, the big names in the division, the guys who are making the money, I mean, even Alexander Usyk is maybe looking at a Derek Chisora fight potentially and then an AJ fight. So the money men in the division, and obviously Tyson Fury, could be interjecting myself constantly. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are fighting a rematch. So Joseph Parker's out in the cold a little bit at the moment because everybody else is tied up. He might have to take a risk against a Hrgovic, Bakole, Jarrell Miller. I mean, you name it. He might have to, Michael Hunter. He might have to go that route and fight his way back up to title contention. Rather than just hoping that somebody gives him an opportunity, he might have to go out there and earn it. And that's not to say he isn't worthy of, let's say, a voluntary shot at a title or a fight, rematch with Dillian Whyte or whatever the case may be. That's not to say he's not worthy of that or a fight against Derek Chisora. But if opportunities are not presenting themselves readily, then you're going to have to make opportunities. So let's see what happens here. If Joseph Parker fights Mariusz Wach, if he can make a splash, if he can maybe stop Mariusz Wach, that might put pressure on Dillian Whyte to rematch him. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.